to the ozone. Hey, any, many, money, mo. Catch a hater by the throat. Apply the pressure, don't let them go. Any, many, money, mo. I know you want my spot, but you cannot have it. Just stay on the bench, cause I am the captain. Hey, I can never fall. Timber, I'm a god, I'm a goat. I'll forever be dope. Hold on.
3 minutes, got it.
They can hear us too, but I don't really give a shit. Yes, it's a bit uncensored on here. It's my show. Always gives me time to get nice and nervous right beforehand. No, it's harder with people I don't know.
It's all good.
These are people I've met. Should be a stream now on blab.com/movielab/live. Hey everybody, I'm Andrew Edison, and you're tuned in
to Movie Blab.
The clock has started.
The clock has started.
Action! That's right, everyone. It's time for another episode of Movie Blab. My guest today is James Faust, artistic director of the Dallas International Film Festival. Let's get started.
Welcome to this podcast.
What's up, everybody? Let's do this thing. My guest is, of course, as I just said, James Faust. How are you doing today, James?
Doing good, Andrew. How are you? Staying healthy and safe.
Well, it is good to see you. It's been a long time.
Yeah, it has been. Like, God, it may have been 10 years, man.
I know. I was a lot skinnier. But you look the same, buddy. You look the exact same.
I was a lot less wrinklier. So how's that?
Well, there's a little button you can hit to smooth out your skin. I have it on right now.
I got to work on that. I got to find that button.
Anyway, though, you are the artistic director of the Dallas International Film Festival, a film festival that I love very much because I was born in Dallas and I was born at that festival in some ways.
Yeah, that is correct. And I don't know about you being born at the festival,
Well,
but
my mom had me. No, but I had my film there, all thanks to
yeah,
you. And
yeah,
so, I love that place. You guys are very
yeah.
nice to your filmmakers too. You guys treat them real fancy.
No, it
So
was cool.
I just want to say I'm so sorry because it was supposed to start in 3 days, right?
Yeah, it's bittersweet week. Yeah, it was like we postponed the festival like everybody else. Corona, COVID-19 put us on the shelf for a little bit. So we're working on some online options right now.
Okay.
Hopefully launching as soon as this week for some of our stuff possibly, and then going to hopefully with everything calming down, maybe sometime in the fall is when we're shooting to have the Dallas International Film Festival 2020 edition. So
That is
fingers
amazing.
crossed.
So you are basically attacking it on all fronts as opposed to some of these other some of these other groups,
Yeah.
other festivals. Because that's great because I was worried because I think you guys are a huge festival and there's a big local element to it, and
Yeah.
it seems like I've been covering the South by Southwest Amazon stuff. What do you think of that?
I hope it really works. They've been. I mean, it's the big tragedy is all the filmmakers who you feel this. Your film is going to premiere. It's having its world premiere. You've worked years on this, and I have friends that have worked 25 years on getting their film into Tribeca or something like that.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, all that's gone, and like everything else, the uncertainty is just deafening and painful.
Yeah.
And so I feel for the filmmakers not having an outlet, a traditional outlet, if you will, that we have to get their films out there. So with something like South by Southwest kicked everything off. I mean, that was, here's a funny story. I was on the phone with a filmmaker, another Dallas guy who moved to the Los Angeles area, and his film was world premiering at South by Southwest. And then we were going to play it after that. And I was on the phone with him on a Thursday saying, hey, no, we had a conversation on Friday, and I said, look, I've just talked to the guys on Thursday at South by. Everything's going ahead. Everything's cool. We're going to have this festival. 1 hour later, the news breaks that they're not having the festival. And I'm like, well, I suck.
Man, that sucks. Yeah.
But that's what, as I understand it, that's how they were going into it. I mean, they were moving forward to the last minute at South by. And then when the city and the mayor came down and said, hey, look, we're not going to allow something this size to do it. And so when that domino hit, we're all scrambling going, how do we support the filmmakers? How do we do this? What's the next level? And so I think they were first with their online Tribeca and with their shorts a day, but I think South by was first with their online short system, and you had to opt in.
And I'm wondering, so the opt-in thing is a big thing, and you guys are smart because if someone doesn't want to opt in, they could still have a chance of being shown they'll still be shown at the festival in theory, right?
Yeah.
I mean, who knows, right? You can't ever say anything for sure anymore about anything.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's kind of scary. The opt-in thing is, and that's where the feature thing, I'm wondering how it's going to work because with distributors, there's still a classic model.
The politics of it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The premiere politics.
Like, well, you premiere, like South by has a lot of world premieres. Tribeca has a lot of world premieres. Sundance. So these are the big fests that they require these premieres. And then if you don't get that premiere, if you premiere it online, then all of a sudden the thought process, again, classically, is that you're giving your film away online. And so everybody's seeing it. And I go, well, I think we need to rethink that processing because it's a new world right now.
Yes, exactly. I mean, you were the artistic director of a huge festival. Like, would you hold that against a film?
No.
If it had been exactly.
No, not at this point. I mean, I'll say this: we used to do that with short films that were played online, and that's something we sort of gotten away from because with Vimeo and there's just so many options to see shorts online.
And seeing in movies is different. Seeing in theaters is different. It's special.
I mean, we create full blocks that are made for theatrical experience.
Yeah. And
there's a difference. And then there's some shorts that you can just, stream through. Like I watched this weekend, I probably watched 11 animated shorts.
You're amazing.
We're working on some stuff, and I'm just going through all these shorts and piling through online. I go, that would have been neat on the screen, but it works here. It works on the smaller screen as well.
I programmed shorts, associate programmed shorts for Slam Dance this year.
Oh, yeah.
And that was fun. I mean, it's crazy to see the blind
Yeah.
submissions, what's out there.
Man. Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't done shorts in a while, and it's quite the experience to get back into it. It's like, man, there's a lot of stuff.
And I want to dive into that after we do this break, but let's get back to this because I'm really bad at keeping us on track, so I'm trying to get better at it.
Sure.
That and saying less, but let's get back to this. So do you I guess my question okay, so here's the thing I wanted to ask you about. Dallas Film. I want to talk about a filmmaking on a local level, because I think the heart of indie film is these like local film scenes, right? That's where the most independent, amazing stories are told. And you guys have an amazing system. One of the things we've been talking a lot about on the show, or someone, my friend Griffin brought up, and we've been since kind of discussing it, is this idea that independent films are usually people who come from privilege because they have access to money or wealth. It's not true across the board, but I think there is something there. You guys have an outreach program. You guys you guys teach people in schools, right?
Yeah.
What do you think about that? I mean, do you think, how do we fix that if it's true? Do you know?
Like, well, that is from a privilege. Well, I think that sense of privilege may only apply to larger features that may get made, because the access is there now. That's something that's, we can mention shorts and some other, because we watch a lot of features. I watch a ton of features, and I see features that are done anywhere from $20,000 to $110,000 that are actually like, these are pretty good dang features that I'm seeing.
That's still
that these
a lot
people,
of fucking money.
It's a lot of money, but you've got there. But and then there's like that 20,000. You can raise that amount of money through grants and other ways. But yeah, and it's getting that done. There's a lot of privilege out there, but the access is easier than ever. Access to, I mean, people making film. I don't love films made on an iPhone or your Samsung, but that's definitely a possibility to get it out there. But then you have to worry about your editing, and then you're paying Peter to pull Paul at that point just to get it edited.
Yeah, one of the things I've been talking about is embarking on making your own film, right? Is basically is such an underestimated sacrifice for many who start out.
Yeah.
To cancel your life to do it on a low budget in an indie way. It becomes your whole spirit, your whole thing.
I mean, like your own experience with Bindle Stiffs back then. I mean, you guys have been made some shorts before that, but you raised the money to get that done.
Oh yeah, and along the way, I lost my girlfriend. I lost contact with anyone who wasn't involved in the thing. I didn't go to any parties because I was editing.
That's the story of the sacrifice. And then it always doesn't work, and that's the best thing about art. Sometimes it you don't know what's going to work, but you got to at least try.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And I like your point about from a privilege standpoint, because my senior programmer and I, Daniel Labs, were watching some films and seeing certain people, and sometimes we go, how'd they get that money to make this movie?
Yeah, I mean, when I was programming that, I got the same thing.
It's like, what I did, I produced a short film in the same year. This is probably like 20 years ago almost. Oh my God, it's almost 20 years ago. Crap. No, it was about 15 years ago. And I remember in the same year, I produced two short films. One we did for $1,000, and one I did for 40.
For $40,000.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And I remember thinking, what the hell? And it was because I lucked out and I had a producer. Yeah. And we pulled the money together, and that was that one. The other one, it was like, okay, everybody get together and don't pay your light bill for a month. It'll be fine.
Yeah. We got credit card bills. We took out a couple credit cards. Don't worry, guys. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah. Exactly. So it's funny. You can make it happen. You can get it. Just have a plan to get the money.
And study how to do that, I think, is the big part. Sales. It's sales, man.
Yeah, it is sales. And
Yeah.
you mentioned that we have a high school program where we teach. We go to 40 different schools in the North Texas area.
Amazing.
And our new CEO, he's not new anymore. He's in it 3 years. He's a filmmaker as well, Jonathan Brownlee, and he helped create a new version of this program. Now it's called High School Film Labs, and it was sponsored by Capital One, the bank, and
Yes, I was reading about this.
Mercury One Studios. And with that, this is pretty neat because now we're doing a program where we go through a curriculum with these kids that some of them have access to different levels of film and television at their high schools, and some have nothing.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the cool thing about nothing. It is the nothing, and we can train these kids and get them interested, because something that Austin did very well was the city of Austin built a love of film. And it's all, you lived here, like there's pockets here in Dallas, and it's grown over the years to being a really great community. And we want to just, how you keep that community growing is keep the kids involved, get the high school guys going. So I'll kind of announce that we're working, hopefully on launching this week. We're going to be doing our high school shorts program, which we work with. We used to have a high school day during the festival. Like 500 kids come out for one day, and it's a 1 day film school.
Oh, that is so cool.
In-N-Out Burger would deliver burgers. It's and cheese for the vegetarians. And then
shroom burgers for the vegetarians.
Yeah, shroom burgers. That was a nickname in college. But that's
the best joke that's been said on the show, in my opinion. You win.
Mark it down. But so, and then we also have our high school, through the year, the high school kids make films, and we have a high school showcase once or twice during the festival. And so we're going to launch an online showcase here, literally probably this week or next week. We're just finalizing some new things. So, and all the high school kids can come out doing interviews with the kids and all that stuff.
Oh,
so
cool. I'll be watching and retweeting and all that stuff. That's
appreciate
awesome.
it. Thanks.
Yeah,
Ed.
of course.
Yeah.
So that's totally like if I had a bunch, if they gave me 30 days to live and I was a millionaire, I would give it all away to literally just putting cameras in places that can't afford them, like in schools that can't afford them. Because I think, the theater is cheaper to do, and that kind of putting cameras and computers in places, because I just feel like there's the people who may feel like they could never make a movie. Or afford to make a movie or figure that out. I feel like there might be the ones with the best stories and most interesting stories to tell.
Yeah.
Because they want it so bad,
Yeah.
And I think that's crucial for any filmmaker, is to really, really want this. Otherwise, you're really wasting your time or living a fantasy,
Yeah. Oh yeah, and I think getting these kids early. We've been watching these short films from these kids, and they're just amazing.
Yeah, because they've been on fucking After Effects since they were 2.
Yeah, it's like going. I did a kind of like a for Richardson High School here in the Dallas area, and I did a judging, and it was like I felt like I was a Simon Cowell on the list, because I'm thinking, that's really good, but could you? Yeah. And it was, and it was
really
fun.
Connecting with the characters, like.
And then there was a couple of films that were so dang good that I just couldn't. I kind of hold my tongue, like, okay, the other film was good, but this is really good. And I was just so, and I went to the kids afterwards, and I'll brag on them. You seen the movie? And this is a weird disconnect for me. You ever see Chronicle?
Yeah, I love Chronicle.
Yeah, I love Chronicle. So these kids made a Chronicle, and they'd never seen or heard of Chronicle.
Holy shit, that's so
it was
funny.
The same story with great effects and everything. Going, how the hell? And you've never heard? No. And I showed them the trailer, like, oh my God, that's our movie. Yeah, that's your movie.
Say, like, what was their reaction?
Plus $38 million budget. There you go. I mean,
yeah.
Michael B. Jordan was in your movie.
That's so cool. They hadn't seen it. That's so much better.
They'd never heard of it, and I love that, and I love working with these kids. I just really do. My hope is to expand our program into middle school and elementary.
Oh yes, I started making films in middle school. That was when I got into it. Yes,
really,
yes, yeah.
Oh,
but my French teacher would let me skip PE and make it, and I made a short film every semester. I was crazy.
Oh shoot! What high school did you go to?
Middle school. High school. I went to Kincaid in Houston.
Okay,
yeah.
That's good.
It was good. Cool. They had a film program.
Yeah,
I was all over it.
That's better. That's better than most programs.
And they made the mistake of electing me president in the senior year. Because I did a rap video. That's why.
That
had nothing to do with anything with that. I wasn't
you
popular.
You sold them media, man.
Yeah, dude, the media, man. I was propaganda.
Oh God.
I was Trump before Trump, dude.
Make Kincaid great again.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Student council is gonna be great. He's such an asshole.
That's a good impression. That's a good impression.
Yeah. It's a good impression that nobody wants to hear. And sometimes I'll just sit around and go, Melania. That's my favorite.
And you do that while you're by yourself. That's a whole nother podcast.
Well, yeah. I'm thinking about doing something by myself. This will get weird.
Yeah.
But, let's take a quick breaky poo.
Sure.
Yeah. And then we'll get back to it with more James Faust. This is going real good so far, in my opinion. And let's see how quickly I can do this. Here we go, guys. Please don't tune out and check out this dope ad. I worked really hard on it. Hey guys, just a quick announcement. We are now on Patreon, which is very helpful for us because it turns out that hosting these videos and streaming them across platforms and getting them on iTunes and Spotify costs money every month. That's why we have to launch this campaign, because for now, we don't have big sponsors. These are humble beginnings. So we need you to be our big sponsors and donate just $3 a month to Movie Blab via our website, patreon.com/movieblab. If you do this, I will shout you out so hard on the show, and I will send you a personal thank you, and you will be my hero. So do a good deed, sign up on Patreon. We love you, you love us, and we'll be right back after this break.
Rated X.
We're gonna be right back, guys. I've been a fan of Cats since I was a child. I've been very vocal on Facebook about how much I love the movie.
I think that they really botched a lot of the songs by trying to make a story element of it.
I agree.
Mr. Mistopheles, I don't like that he's like so timid and everything.
Yes.
No, Mr. Mistopheles is supposed to be a fucking badass.
Magic magician. He's supposed to be David fucking
look,
Copperfield.
And then he's in the movie, it's like, I can do this and that. It's like, oh, you're ruining the best song.
It still managed to deliver on the kind of creepy, sexy orgy of the whole thing. No, I agree the movie sucks, but I love it. All right, guys. Ready, James? Here we go. All right, guys. With James Faust, the man, the legend, the indie super champ. It's true.
I'm drinking water, please. Only water.
He loves water. Shout out to water. Who doesn't? You are supposed to be drinking a lot of water during this time because
They tell me.
the infection out of your mouth, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. Apparently our mouths are dirtier than our phones. I don't know. So I've been licking my phone.
Yeah, it's all the COVID I've been eating.
Yeah, exactly. I just want to get immune.
Yeah. Yeah. COVID for lunch.
Okay. Okay, so we've talked about this stuff. Okay, so there are numerous challenges to putting on a festival, and so in many ways I'm trying to throw you a pity party here, James, because I feel sorry for you guys because you work so hard on this thing. Like, I know how hard people work on festivals. It's like it's your full-time job.
Yeah.
A couple of people's full-time jobs, right?
without it. Yeah, I mean, we have a small year-round staff.
Yeah.
It's a little under 10 people, and then the rest, by the time the festival kicks in, we're hiring about 30, 35 people to 40 maybe to run it. And that doesn't include the 600 volunteers that are helping out as well. And
Shout out.
I mean, I'll be real honest, like when we were debating this, I mean, we were trying to push as far as possible. And that week when we canceled or postponed, I was thinking, we're not going to do this. And we are less than a month away, or about a month away at the time. Yeah, it's about a month away. It was in March. And I mean, we'd be launching our lineup. We were getting ready to launch our first 10, and then the next week launch the whole thing, tickets on sale, all of it. And it just goes away. And it's a gut punch. It's a gut punch. I mean, I can tell for the filmmakers and just the film organizers, we're all just, well, now what?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have any other plans. I had my rest of my year planned out. Like when you guys at Bindlestiff, you were probably going, okay, so we're in this festival and now all these other people want to play us. And all of a sudden, like, nope, that's not happening now. Go home.
Yeah. That's beyond the brutality of just the industry. That's just the brutality of the world now. I mean, it's a totally different thing, but I think that I can't say, I don't know anything. There's nothing good to come out of this except hopefully just people will appreciate things more when they happen. Or
appreciate each other more. It's the one thing. I mean, this Zoomcast is my second of 4 for today. And so
I'm not the only one starting these things.
Yeah, I wish if Zoom was a public company, I wish I had gotten on board a long time ago.
Oh yeah, I had no idea. They just blew up and they keep dropping updates. Shout out, seriously, they're amazing.
Dropping updates, security updates.
Yes.
So, no racist hackness,
yes,
please.
That hasn't happened to me, even though my security is pretty loose on this thing. If that does happen, I'll change my ways immediately. No, yeah, that was just people, idiots with nothing to do except hate. But even they are adjusting. Look at that.
Yeah, they're like, we'll get you. We'll get you.
Racist people are adjusting to this new way of life. So for the people, what is the stuff that I want to help filmmakers know more about, these sort of misconceptions about about getting their film seen, right? Why should someone pay the fee to try to get into a festival? Like, why is that something they should do?
Ooh, that's a deep question. I've actually heard lots of people, from film festival programmers to filmmakers to CEOs of companies talk about that. Bluntly, it's the fee for the film festival is bluntly put together to honestly keep the organization a film festival for some festivals. I can speak for us that if I could make everything free, we would.
Oh, of course.
We would, but we would love to make that free. But as an organization,
you should make it free necessarily. I just mean the reasoning behind for the filmmaker. Like, what does it get them to be at a festival? I think a lot. Not as many people have been to film festivals as you think.
Well, I mean, simply you get your work seen. That's one thing. I mean, there's one thing to have it online and you have the opportunity to have millions of eyes. It's another thing to have a concentrated group of people who are there for your work and to offer feedback to you and to feel that energy. There's nothing like the energy of a theater of people who love, or even, and I hate to say it, hate you.
Yes, I mean, I had people walk out of my screening halfway through the vomit scene, and it was the best feeling in the world.
You were so excited about that.
I was like, so happy.
You were so excited about that, and then there's that passion. The film festival is it's a museum of the moving picture as far as I'm concerned. And you have an opportunity to see things that you've never seen before, that you might not ever see, to celebrate certain art that mainstream distributors don't get a chance to celebrate, that don't take a chance on, but that's just as good as anything else. It's just for some reason like, oh yeah, I really like your movie, but we thought about it for one of the Skarsgård Hemsworth people instead of that person you picked up out of Wisconsin. I mean, there's great stories, and we have an opportunity to see those great stories, and I have an opportunity for local to get out there and get the word out for what they're doing.
You guys have a category for Texas filmmakers.
We do have a category for Texas filmmakers, which we're happy. It's got a big Panavision prize. If you win that category, you win. I think now I think it was going to be $40,000 camera package from Panavision, and I'm like, that's pretty cool. So
yeah, let me just say that this festival is very Dallas in the best of ways, and they're very courteous too.
Yeah. We are hospitable.
I was never
to a
treated
fault.
better. I was never treated better.
Well, that's our goal. Like, if anything, we were started by filmmakers. Michael Caine, who now runs the Earth X Film Festival, which is actually going completely online this week. Michael and myself, when he was coming up with this idea with Linear Timberland, our co-founder, back in the AFI Dallas days, and it was like, look, as filmmakers, because I was a producer, what do we want at a film festival? Like, how do we want to be treated? And at the end of the day, let's be a filmmakers film festival. Yes. And that's where we want it to be. I mean, and if we fail on that, it hurts us. And we go, all right, we got to fix that or kill that. We're not going to do that again. Or we need to get the money to make sure this happens again.
That's how you make the decisions. Wow.
Yeah. We want to be a filmmakers film festival, because if we're doing well by the filmmakers, we're doing well by the audiences, because we're bringing in good stuff and good people.
Yeah, and people want to go there. I think another thing that you get to know your audience. You get to find out what people think. It's not just experiencing an audience. It's like meeting them and seeing who are the kinds of people and where that like my film or that don't. Yeah. I mean, and you guys are a really good example, because when I saw Bendel Stiffs, I don't know why I was walking in there. Did we meet on the bus before that or after I saw Did you like that bus shout out when I
I'm trying to remember. I think was it before the film or after the film?
I think it was in between screenings.
Okay.
I think you saw maybe the first screening. Maybe I'm wrong.
I did. I went to the world premiere, and I was completely shocked. And again, I was like, what the hell did I just get into? And this is I didn't even know what to do with this. And I remember telling my senior program at the time, Sarah Harris, like, Sarah, I don't know where we're going to show this, but we kind of got to show this.
Can we pass this out in a paper bag to people?
Yeah. I mean, I just thought it was because it's one of those things. It was such a raw and funny and just unabashedly unapologetic film.
So nice, man.
And I was thinking, I remember we put it at midnight. You remember that?
Yes.
I remember that put it at midnight.
Section.
It was in midnight. It was like we set a new precedent. Like, usually our midnight was horror and gore, and no, this is hardcore comedy. I mean,
some horror in there.
Yeah, if you're homeless, it's a horror film.
Well, today's modern world, it's probably a horror film for a lot of people.
Or it's actually today you might be a PG-13.
Yeah, right? No, that's true. But I appreciate that, and it's still on Amazon. So
yeah. Shout out. You can. Is it an HD and an SD rental? Or is it just an HD rental?
Oh, I think it was an HD movie. It was just the bottom of the HD. But I don't know. Yeah, I'll take. You buy the SD; it's cheaper. There will be no quality difference.
I was gonna say. So it was pretty much shot in H.
Yes, exactly. We shot it in H.
Couldn't afford D.
It's crazy though how, the accessibility now. I mean, to your point about the future generation, like, I'm glad I'm doing this podcast so that it's my films. I'm still making tons of movies. I have a short coming out, but I don't know if I could compete with these little fuckers. Like, they're so good at this shit now.
Yeah, they are. It's fascinating. I don't know. I guess there's so much they can watch. I mean, I go down a YouTube hole constantly, and I start thinking, I can't believe I've just spent the last 3 hours watching all these videos of things that led me to one thing after another, because YouTube's algorithm, like, oh, you might like this. You might be right. I need to watch a whole Star Trek made up thing that somebody made up in their garage that seems to take me to some other boy doing this. How's he? What?
There's something about the flow of going from one to the other.
Yeah.
It just feels like like lily padding.
Yeah.
Leapfrogging. That's what it is. Leapfrogging.
Yeah. I like lily padding. It's like, Long as there's not a cup involved.
Yeah, sounds like a tampon brand. We both went there.
Yep.
So usually I like to loosen it up a little bit. But before we do that, film festival strategy, that's a thing.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people want to go to the festival and have a great time.
Yeah.
Because the movie's done.
So what do you mean? Are you talking about filmmakers,
Yes,
film festival strategy?
Filmmakers.
Yeah, I have it. Like whenever I speak, I always tell filmmakers, and I go to high schools and colleges, and I say, hey, real quick, when you're making your short film, you're making your feature film, think about a film festival. Think about how much money you want to spend, what letters you want to write to the film programmers about trying to get a waiver or not get a waiver, or in like where you want to go. And do you want to take a chance on the big gun film festivals? Do you want to reach out to Toronto, Sundance, Cannes, all those things? Because, they're expensive and they got 6,000 films, but you never know.
Yeah.
And you never know. 6,000 short films in some of these film festivals, 10,000. It's incredible. But you know what? That one film that gets in that moves somebody, it could be you.
So let's say that you and I made a film, an independent film, and it's a big hit, and we get into Sundance or whatever, Dallas, whatever. What can we do beyond getting in, right? And to prepare in terms of like publicizing the screenings. Just because you're at a festival doesn't mean the screenings are going to sell out necessarily, right?
Yeah. No. No, you have to get the word out about your film. So if you're not hiring a publicist, some films do that. Some short films do that, which blows my mind.
That's so funny.
Going, how do you have money for a publicist? Your strategy is good.
Well, sometimes they'll take a large slate and you can pay them less to throw it in there,
Yeah, like I'll take these 6 films. Like, okay, yeah, but yeah, so outside of that, I mean, postcards were always a thing back in the day, just running the gamut of it. A lot of we have a press department, reaching out to the press department saying, hey, I'm available for interviews. I'm available for this. And then, or it's just running the ground floor.
People don't know you guys have a publicist to publicize these films, and then you can work with them.
Yeah, we'll reach out and tell you like, hey, there's a publicist. So we're going to try to promote your stuff as much as possible because again, your success is our success. Totally. Our success is your success. So we're in a co-partnership. It's like a double partnership.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing, man. It really is, and it feels that way, especially with this fest.
Yeah. Well, and I really appreciate you saying that because we really strive for that, just to be good for everyone. I'm trying to think of another way to promote your film when you're here. Be like when you had local ties,
press
so
kits.
you're pretty good. See,
no, we did hard. We had a publicist that blew it up at Slamdance, so that helped. So we already had the reviews from Hollywood Reporter and stuff like that to kind of get us. But I think there was some local press that he hooked up, that my publicist hooked up for us. I can't remember. And you guys do a great job of putting asses in seats. It's not like that at every festival, but people are friggin' pumped for the Dallas Film Festival. Yeah,
we try to just keep pushing and getting people there. I'm trying to think like what other than just working the ground, and what we try to do is get the word out early enough. And say you're in the first week blocks, maybe that's good. You can get the word out before that. But if you're in a shorts block later on, come earlier and just work the ground floor.
Also, come to the festival, hang out if you can. Stay for the whole fucking thing, dude. You meet so many people.
It's a good way to get your next movie made. I mean, I always say that we have a filmmakers lounge.
I was about to say that the lounge is the best part.
You hang out the lounge, you got free drinks and food and people there. All the filmmakers are in there going, what? Because filmmakers were usually broke and we need a place to hang out, but we might know somebody who's ready to make the next movie.
Exactly. So, and you can flirt and you can schmooze and you can take selfies and all that. Get free
It's
food.
all about the schmoozing.
Schmoozing and boozing.
Schmoozing and boozing. There's your next film.
I don't booze anymore, sadly. I'm Cali sober for I think I'm 8 months Cali sober, which is pretty dope.
Good for you.
Let's wrap it up here with a little bit of advice for people. For people who want to start their own film festival, because it takes more than a few phone calls.
I'd say put down the vodka if you want to start your own film festival. Wow, it's advice for people that want to start their own film festival.
Isn't that weird? Isn't that a weird question?
I see people doing it all the time. I mean, there's in the DFW Dallas Fort Worth area, there are we did a thing called the Best of Fest the last 2 years, where we take all the festivals all the way down to Waco,
Wow.
all the way down to Waco, all the way up to Denton, all the way west to just past almost in Louisiana, and then east of Louisiana, and then west just to Fort Worth, maybe a little beyond that. 21 different film festivals got together last year and this year to do the best of our festival, and so it's insane how many film festivals are out there. I mean, from Video Fest to we have 2 Black film festivals, 3 different types of South Asian, and then there's a Bengali film festival, and then in the neighborhood. So I'd say if you're starting a film festival, make it as niche as possible.
Yep. Yeah.
To beat an audience, because there are a lot already.
Yeah.
General film festivals. I'm being selfish here.
Well, but what's so cool though about what you guys did, you would think that you guys would reject the creation of smaller film festivals and be like, no, we're the big film festival. But I mean, just you embrace them and create and bring your audience to them, which is amazing.
Well, this is cool because we weren't the first ones here. The Dallas Video Festival and USA Film Festival, they were big festivals before us here, and we had the AFI thing behind us. That was, and we
awesome,
and we came in and it was like, oh God, we came in really big. So we just want to look, it's better if we all do well when we all do well. And so working against each other is not going to do anybody any good. So working together is going to be better for all of us. And so we all share things for each other. Oh, this is like Dallas Video Fest had their alt fiction a couple of weeks ago, and we were sharing things about that. And so, and vice versa. What are you doing? We'll talk about that. What are you doing? We'll talk about that. We'll promote it. And so, and we all work together because there's so much to go around, and we all have our own niche.
Do you find that to be true on a national level, though?
Oh, hell no.
Let's dive into this.
Hell no. I dare you to go to New York and see if Tribeca and New York Film Festival even talk.
I'm here. I'll find out.
Yeah, I mean, they'll go, no. They're like, oh, what are those guys doing? Don't care. Like, okay. or even, I mean, in Austin, it's pretty difficult. Austin Film Festival and South by Southwest. I mean, I don't know if they are allowed in the same bars. I mean, it's
like, ooh.
I mean, I have friends on both sides. I bet they're both friendly. And then there's Fantastic Fest down there. I mean, and that's a smaller city. It's Austin. It's a big name, but it's not a big city. It's a very, I don't know. It's high in congregation. Yeah, it's high in congregation. I mean, you're like, man, everybody's here. Everybody knows that bar. Everybody knows that singer. But it's not a big place.
It's a small town with a ton of fucking people visiting all the time.
Yeah, exactly. The Vegas of the Southwest, man. I mean,
really?
It's incredible how they make it work somehow. Separate but equal in a way.
Oh, Los Angeles loves Austin.
Yeah, Los Angeles loves it's little LA. And LA, think about this: LA Film Festival and AFI Fest. No,
yeah,
well, they don't even exist anymore. LA Film Festival doesn't exist anymore. So,
yeah. What if y'all did what you're doing on that small scale on a national level? Like, that would be so cool. Maybe coronavirus will cure the festival bigwigs from their butthurt bullshit.
Well, a lot of us still talk. I mean, we're all friends from all these festivals.
We're not naming anyone.
Yeah. Nope. But we all talk, and we all say, hey, what are you doing? Or hey, what's happening? And then what are you playing? Are you waiting on this film? So it's sort of a friendly community. I mean, I work with the Slam Dance people, Sundance, etc. So we do talk. It's hard when sponsors get involved and money's involved. It's hard to share on that level because then it's the legalities of it seem to be muddy.
Interesting. Yeah, isn't it crazy how it's always down to money, no matter what.
It's funny how art and money, man. I mean, there's there's the thing. I feel like doing a presentation piece right now.
Oh, there you go. Write it down quick.
Art and money.
Let's wave at you. Let's wave at you on the live stream so that you can remember to
write this down now. Write this now. Okay. Oh my God. Hey, who's Richard Jones?
Oh, Richard Jones is a good friend in Austin, Texas. Did he say anything?
Yeah, he's on Facebook saying
an actor and a producer.
Yeah, he calls you an old man talking about whippersnappers.
To that I say, okay, boomer.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't think he's a boomer.
That's
I love
crazy.
that. We got a little listener mail. That makes me very happy. All right.
I'm following on my iPad over here. Like,
Oh, that's really helpful. Wow, you're
I
the
can't
best
say-
guest.
Yeah,
That and that Schroomberger joke. Dude. I'm still laughing at that in here.
yeah. I got a dozen of them. It's all good.
All right. The last thing I want to talk about is just what you've been watching over coronavirus. You mentioned some short films. I'm sure. How do you must be depressed, right? I mean,
It's my wife and I were talking about this as my brother. I go, man, we're just doing. I mean, we're working on stuff daily, trying to get our own online thing going, but also watching things, and it takes a long time to get into certain TV shows or it's immediate. So we just finished an Apple Plus show that actually stars a young lady from Dallas called Home Before Dark.
okay.
We just binged the whole thing this weekend. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Was it awesome?
Yeah, it was pretty neat. It was pretty neat. It's a little mystery, and it's definitely it's based on a true story about a 9-year-old girl who cracks a murder mystery. And like, oh yeah, Jim Sturgis is in it. It's like, okay, this is pretty heady stuff. But it was a lot of fun. Did Lock and Key on Netflix, and then movie wise, I'm going through. There's a game I play with at this dinner with these IMDb folks, staffers, and every year they ask, what film are you ashamed that you've never seen? And I go, the film I've never watched all the way through was Citizen Kane. I've seen bits and pieces, all the bits.
Same.
So the other day I spent Saturday, it was kind of chilly outside, and I plopped down. We got our 70th anniversary Blu-ray edition with
Yeah, now
extras
it's all
and everything.
beautiful. You waited for the right reason.
And I've owned this. My wife has owned this movie for years, and I'm
Yes.
thinking, have I not watched? So I sat down, watched the whole thing, and then watched some extras, and went, okay, this movie's awesome.
Yeah.
And I've seen pieces. I mean, I've seen it all like broken up, but not in one sitting. And
That's the same. I feel like I've seen the whole movie, but it was like in 2 halves or in 3 halves. But I just got The Third Man, which I'm embarrassed to say I haven't seen.
Oh, I love that one. See, I've seen that
excited for that.
multiple times.
I'm so excited.
That song's gonna get you're gonna hate that song.
You got a favorite indie film?
Ooh, depends how indie we want to go.
If we're gonna watch an indie movie right now, you and I, what would you say we should watch?
Oh my God, that is too deep right now, man.
I would pick Buffalo 66 for us to watch.
Dude, you're sending me through. All I can honestly think about are films that have played the festival.
that tells me everything about how awesome you are.
I could think of, there was a film out of Canada that reminded me of you guys.
Okay.
It also won Slam Dance, and it was called The Dirties.
Oh, I love The Dirties. It got picked up by Kevin after us.
Yeah.
I told Elise, who was in charge of acquiring movies, I told her about it, and she went and checked it out, and then they picked it up as the next movie.
Yeah, and I would say Kevin Smith is who he's talking about, guys, right?
Oh, Kevin Smith. I'm sorry. Oh, did I say Kevin? I'm sorry.
You said Kevin. Like
that's so dumb. I don't hang out with him. I have no contact with Kevin Smith. If it sounded like I did, that was just me trying to.
Some real snooty shit right there, man.
Good call.
Yeah, that's not me. I was hanging out with Barack yesterday, and
we were talking about his new Netflix series. What he thinks he should go with. Yeah.
Oh, I was actually talking about Barack Epstein, local guy.
Barack Obama. That's the only Barack I'm aware of.
Confusion you can make out there.
You're doing a joke.
But yeah. So what the hell were we talking about?
I don't fucking know. Oh, you're talking about the movie.
So The Dirties.
The Dirties right now.
Yeah, I mean I just what's one of the movies and I always think about that sticks in my head.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of films that I've had through this festival. A current great film, if you want to spend something not on bindle stiffs.
Don't worry about that. No one's that.
But but one of the films that I watch, and it's Eliza Hittman's new movie.
Okay.
Oh shoot! I always get the thing. Hang on, I have to look up the title again.
That's okay.
But it's one of my favorite films. They go, well, you can't think of the title. I know I can't think of the title.
Well, watch
but
this.
Oh, you're playing that music? That's great. This is awesome. I'm like, as I'm sitting here trying to shoot through this next thing.
Here, I'll do an ad. All
right, here it is.
Okay,
great. Here it is.
Hold on, let me cut the music.
Never, rarely, sometimes, always.
No. Oh, yes, I've heard of this.
It was at Sundance, and it's now streaming. It is
The Darling, it sounds like.
it is really, really difficult, but it's a thinker, and it's just it really. I wrote something, and I wanted to say to Eliza, look, it's subject, it's strong female subject matters is only a world that I can only observe and never
Same.
truly feel.
Yes.
And this is the closest thing to truly feeling what a young woman would go through with her own reproductive service. It's just,
wow.
It's difficult but it's also powerful enough that I can't shake it, and not in a gross way, but more in a thought-provoking, things need to change way.
See, we got a solid recommendation out of you. Look at that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to check that out immediately.
Yeah.
That sounds fantastic.
Yeah, it's a great one. It's a really good one. It's a good
well,
one.
James, I can't thank you enough, dude. It's been so fun. I got to have you on again. Anything you
would
want
love
to
it.
plug?
Yeah, just stick with Dallas Film. We'll be launching some new things this week. Check us out on Facebook at Dallas Film. It's just Dallas Film, and then on our Instagram, we are Dallas Film. It's very I feel very proud of that one. We are Dallas Film, so it's going to be a good shot. But we'll be launching some new efforts for the whole summer, some good interviews with some former filmmakers, and Andrew, you might get a call back from me.
Oh, I can clean it up.
Interview, yeah, it's okay. And it's the internet, everything goes. So yeah, we'll be launching that stuff, and take a look again, and we'll hopefully be launching a new website too. We're still working. Dallas Film still exists for the next.
It is a great time to catch up on that stuff.
Yeah. That and Battlestar Galactica. No.
That's true. Nick Cage movies is what I'm doing.
Oh shit.
He's my favorite. He's so good. He's incredible.
Yeah. Oh, Johnny Blaze. There you go. Well, just thanks for having me, Andrew. I really appreciate the
absolutely and thank you guys for tuning in. You're the best, Mr. Faust, and we're gonna play us out. And thank you again for tuning in, guys. I'll be back a little bit later today, actually, with Katie McDowell to talk more about Quibi. She checked it out, and she's actually a fan. I'm gonna keep shitting on it though. So let's do this. Let's do this outro. Come on, outro. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in
to Movie Blab.
Reading it loud and clear. The clock has started.
The clock has started.
Quiet on track.
Well, that was a lot of fun, guys. Thank you so much for your viewership, your patronage. You guys are awesome. Make sure you follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, and Instagram.
To this podcast.
That means you're the ultimate fan. And we'll see you guys next week. Y'all have a good one. And we're out.
Awesome.
Dude,